I love you and feel the groove. It's through, yes, it's through. Don't worry, baby, cool. Everything is the same. Me too. Let me see what you have done. Let me know what happens here tonight. Love for hire is dangerous. Let me know what happens here tonight. Hey, hey, guy. Hey, hey, guy. Hey, hey, guy. Hey, hey, guy. Oh, yeah. Steps to heaven, steps to me. Let me know
All right.
what you're doing
Hi, we're welcome. Here we are. Number 6. Who would have ever thought we'd get to the 6th one? 6 is a special number.
It really is. Six is six. Some would say 6 is magic.
Did somebody say 6? Oh, I'm sorry. You just said sex instead.
It's number 6. We're looking for sex, Daddy.
Sex. And you know that sex in German means 6. 6.
I learned that from European Vacation.
It also reminds me that I have yet to have a 6th son in my life.
So I apologize. We were supposed to start at 9 o'clock, and it's now 9:18. And it's 9:18 because as I was sitting down to start, my cat ran into my bedroom and then wiped its cat ass all down my bed, like just big streak of fucking cat ass juice, starting at the pillow, going all the way down. So we had to de-bed, had to go chase the cat around. It was a whole thing.
Did you just say cat ass juice?
Cat ass juice.
That sounds like a band
was
that would
on
be
my
on
bed.
a Horde tour.
Yeah,
Oh my god, did you see cat ass juice?
they have the best DJ.
Yeah, they've got it's like a band. I can't wait for that trend in hardcore again. Is the band, but also a laptop DJ with them. Or maybe somebody spinning like records, like so you have like a hardcore sample thrown in. I've probably just given like 10 people a really bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I'm just gonna kind of be the DJ / hype man.
Hype man,
it's
get
all right.
ready. That is absolutely going to happen. Mark, write
Have
it
you ever
down.
seen a hardcore band with a hype man?
Yes, laptop
Yeah, that's
hardcore
rough.
with hype man.
Yeah.
That's $1 million. That's I won't say $1 million. That's like a $10,000 idea.
Got to be a couple hundred if you're in the right part of the
After
country.
you pay off that recording bill, and after you pay off the fucking posters that just sit in the warehouse, like in a couple years, maybe you'll make a little bit of paper off that.
It's Northern Florida's finest cat ass juice.
Cat ass juice, man. Oh my god, are you going to Sound and Fury? I wouldn't miss it. Cat ass juice is playing. Can't wait. We just made a great idea for somebody to steal.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an open forum for ideas. So first person to get on that one, I guess loses. I don't know. You definitely don't win.
First person to steal our awesome idea to form a band named Cat Ass Juice. That involves not, I guess, upbeat hardcore with a positive tinge. A lot of pomade. Definitely
A lot of pomade, a lot of it's a lot of hype man. That's what
man.
I need out of cat ass juice. A lot of hype man.
Cat ass juice, man. Cat ass juice is better than fucking Malibu Road, man. If you're familiar with this Cialis commercial,
Malibu Road is the greatest fake band ever.
if you take your woman, I mean the during football they show they show a Cialis commercial, and if
There's a shocker.
And if you don't know what Cialis is, it allows you to perform with your wife. It's like when you're no longer attracted to your wife and you have a hard time getting a hard on, you get a prescription to Penthouse Forum first of all. Then you get a prescription for Cialis so you can get a thick one and plug your wife and get that romance going again. But
You can stop fighting for one. You can make it from one side to the next without without too much fighting.
yeah, you can, it's like you can argue about there's ice in the fucking recycling bin, or if you are you going to call the city about that tree that fell down in our yard? It's been like a week. Why don't they pop a Cialis and fuck me real quick? How about that?
I've asked you several times to do this.
I've asked you several times. We've got a 45-minute window where the kids are at football practice and ballet practice, and we've got our little sexy window here.
Are you going to pick up the kids after your Cialis or not?
Tell you what, I'm gonna
Just tell me now. Just
gonna
tell me
pop-
now, because if you won't, I will. I'm just asking if you will.
I will pop the Cialis, then I will go pick up the kids, and then we will fuck quietly in the pantry against the wall. Now, I don't know how we got on that tangent. Married Hans and Andrew.
That got weird.
I do not, whereas as obesity has taken over my body, it has become an issue. Maintaining a hard-on during sex. I had some sex over the summer. And a woman I slept with in particular was, no matter what I said to her, she was like, "What's wrong with me? Why are you so nervous around me?" And I couldn't explain that physiologically, blood isn't flowing to all of my body as much because my body has to take care of a lot more body. It's not always about you, girls. If your man loses his hard, it's not always about you. It's probably about you.
This wasn't like a bike punk or something. No, it didn't smell like the back of a laundromat or something disgusting like that.
No, I mean it was no, it was no, well, kind of actually, yeah, it was. I was.
I think it can be forgiven for that. Then it's all right.
Yep. Yeah, but no, that wasn't the reason. I'm totally, like I said, I enjoy the company of a natural woman. Don't shave ever. It's fine. And you can do whatever you want, but it was just not my time. Which was sad because it was like the first, little field I plowed in a little bit. So it was a sad day when I couldn't perform, and I felt equally pathetic because I had many empty soda cans wedged between the wall and my bed. Because you're in that.
Well, you know what? I forgive you.
Thank you, Andrew. You forgive me, and hopefully that we can get a Cialis sponsorship out of this.
Without question, I think that's our demographic and Cialis's advertising demographic are squarely equal.
Shout out to our Tumblr followers because you make that shit really interesting. I just have to say, I'm not versed in anything anymore. I don't know what these bands are. I'm out of touch. A little bit. But I think people are interesting. People show like dirty pictures and fucking funny screen caps and all that other stuff that I like. Thank you, 116 Tumblr followers. I follow you right back. I watch this shit like a hawk.
I was wondering what happened because I finally got back on our Tumblr and I opened it up and all of a sudden there's just massive amounts of shit where I'm like just scrolling through trying to figure out what happened. It was you following everybody that followed us.
Because what I'm doing is I'm following, hoping that there's a woman that's following us and then that she'll initiate an internet relationship with me.
All right,
that's all. So if you're out there, don't be bashful, girl.
So it's been just about a week since last time we did this.
What? Yeah.
It's been just about a week since we did this last one. Mm-hmm. In your worlds, in your Facebook, in your Tumblr travels, what are people freaking out about this week?
Oh well, people are freaking out. I work for state government, and people are freaking out because they'll be no longer able to own a gun, which is weird because a large group of my friends list or whatever, are really sad about that.
Yeah, I was unaware of how many people I knew that were really, really passionate about guns.
Look, motherfucker, I like Rambo as much as the next asshole. All right, but look, no, I just, who cares? Honestly, you people like to watch a lot of television, and I think that it translates to just implied, like, I guess, like, Ron Paul followers are really big on, like, natural rights versus legal rights, and they're like, well, the Second Amendment is our natural right. No, it's not, because it's written on a piece of paper. Like, when I'm born,
I don't know what that means exactly.
Like, when I'm born, when I popped out of my mother's pussy, breathing air, oxygen, I have a right to live. I have a right to seek food.
I mean, I guess you've got a right to throw a rock. I mean, if you want to get super literal about it, sure. All right. I mean, okay.
I don't have the right. It's not my natural right to own an Uzi. I mean, it would be really fucking cool to own an Uzi. let's not get it twisted. But it's very short. I don't want to make this. I don't want to go on a political tip here, but I just think everybody is kind of like. I thought people were trolling at first because I'm like, were you really that hickish that in 2013 you really give a fuck about any of this stuff? I always thought it was like old. That was like a really old person like concern. Like, oh, I can't own a gun. Like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Like if someone's gonna run up and kill me, they're gonna find a way to kill me. I'm not gonna be able to, I'm not gonna be able to stop them. And if but then when I shoot them, that'll jam me up even more. Like, oh, was it self-defense? Wasn't, like, whatever,
I'm curious to see how many people on both sides of how many people who are just saying dumb, loud shit have ever fired a gun. I'd be curious to see those numbers. I don't know.
Believe me, people on my friends list have fired a lot of guns. I add every single person who adds me from high school, and they uniformly are like, from my cold dead hands type of people.
Well, I feel like those are the people that have fired a gun at a police officer.
Yeah, that's true. They probably they probably pulled a Magnum PI at one point.
Definitely at a stop sign. That's a given. But like take a quick shot at a state trooper across a highway.
Sure, the type of dudes who like shoot at road signs. Like you see, oh yeah, exit 6, and there'll be like 7,000 fucking bullet holes in it.
That'll show them.
Not that I've never done that before or anything, but it's fun as hell. I'm sorry. I think guns should be legalized for like funny things, like if you pull it on, if unloaded, but you pull it on somebody, like pull it on like a lady, and they'd be like, "Oh my god!" and then it's actually unloaded. You know what I mean? It'd be funny. I'm into pranks, man, big time. Now I don't think. I mean. People freak out about a lot of stuff, and I'm, as much as I am on Facebook, I don't. People like, the problem is I have like my friends list has like mad sour flavor because it's like I work briefly at a nightclub, so that like a lot of people added me who like wanted to fucking get shows, so it's like a lot of raver fucking people, which is the worst. And then a lot of people I don't know. And then, like, I added a lot of sports figures, so they don't have anything to fucking freak out about. And then it's like, I'm watching Downton Abbey, and that shit's awesome, and, like, it's really boring, man. So I don't really have a lot to report, sadly, about.
All right. Aside from guns, which was on my list too, the other thing that I have people freaking out about on my end of the world is Snapchat. I think is what it's called. Hang on one second, let me find out.
Is that like that's like a sexual chat?
Yeah, Snapchat. Yeah, it's I guess it's just like a straight up sexting app where you just like you take a picture of your dick and you send it to people, but it's only available for like 5 seconds, and then it's off into the ether.
No, well, is it like is it like a Grindr type thing? Or is it like Grindr for heteros? Because I'm looking for them. That's like my holy grail, Grindr for heteros.
I think it's anybody. But the thing that people are freaking out about is that apparently nobody thought about the fact that you can take screenshots with the iPhone.
No. Okay.
So the 10-second rule no longer applies to anyone who's quick enough to take screenshots.
Okay.
Which I don't understand what people are freaking out about, because the same people who are sending pictures of their cock to people when it was, it stayed forever, that didn't stop them before. So I don't know what the big fucking deal is. I think people just like to... People are excited to have something to freak out about.
You know, I can honestly say that I've never... let me think, though. Let me think about this before I say it.
Wait, yep, think on it.
I don't think I've ever... Justin, have you ever sent your picture of your cock to somebody?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. I don't think I have either. I think maybe... You know what? One time...
yeah, because I think I can refute that.
Wait.
Not that, thankfully, I don't believe... you've never sent me a picture of your cock, and I appreciate it. But I think the epic overnight drive number 10 story will feature some cock shots.
I didn't even have a fucking smartphone.
Really? All right. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure that out then.
No, I didn't have a fucking... No. I took jerk-off videos in bathrooms, and then to show her later. But I didn't... no, but I didn't send her cock shots. I'm sorry to burst anybody's fucking macabre blue fantasy about that tour. I mean, that's... Overnight Drive 10 will definitely detail that tour, because that is the lowest I've ever been in my life. and this is going to tease some people to keep listening, but... No, I would admit it, you know, and I've sent some wild shit. And it's in the vault somewhere, you know. In the interest of, I don't know what it was. See, I was on such a spirit quest or something on that. Honestly now, on the serious tip, like, bipolar disorder is nothing to fucking joke about. It's crazy, and it is really crazy when you all of a sudden are with people who you don't really, like, socially recognize, so you just feel like you can do whatever you want. It's kind of strange, you know? Undiagnosed, unmedicated, happened in the middle of a tour. Not an excuse, but you know what? It became perfectly normal to, like, not lock a venue bathroom door, but prop myself against the venue bathroom door and set my camera that also took videos on a sink and take jerk-off videos. But the problem was, in one of the jerk-off videos, which I may post, one of the jerk-off videos, which, the person actually tried to get in the bathroom. And they push hard, and... Someone's in here. And I feel bad that it always comes back to me jerking off in a public place and somebody fucking walking in on me, because that's the last two fucking podcasts have been about that.
What if that was you were in Missoula, Montana, and you're doing a jerk off video and somebody walks in, but it's the same guy with the fucking goggles from Amazing.net in Troy from fucking like years before.
At that point, I would let him blow me.
All right, that makes sense.
Because that would be kismet. It'd be like the guy from the diner in fucking Spokane.
Listen, we can keep running.
We can just keep running with this. You know, you don't need... That's what really happened, actually. In Canoga Park, California, when I did leave the band, I actually left the airport and hooked up with the guy with goggles, and I had been living in Los Angeles instead.
All right, he was a pilot. That's why he had the goggles. He flew a World War II biplane.
He did. He was like Snoopy. It was great. Yeah,
it all makes a lot of sense.
He made me call him Snoopy when we were doing it. When we were hiney bopping. That's when they.
Is that Snoopy's weird vagabond cousin that was always like in the cartoon randomly? They had like the mustache and the weird.
Oh man!
Like or like Normal.
I can't remember what that damn dog's name was, but it existed.
Like the Normal or the gray Scooby Doo, man. You know. The people that are listening right now have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. But, trust me, there was like a wander Snoopy, like a hippie Snoopy.
A rogue Snoopy.
Yeah, there was. He had a mustache, he had a little hat. I remember.
I think it was Spike.
Was he a member of Cat Butt Juice?
He probably was.
Without a doubt. It was Spike. He wore a fedora.
It's probably at Burning Man when they played. I would say.
Overnight Drive 10.
Overnight Drive 10. Tune in. That is going to be the... Wow, we may have, like guest interviews, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we're building up to a story that is actually pretty sad. But hey, in the interest of being completely honest, and I think a few people have mentioned on the Tumblr, people have really been utilizing the ask function on the Tumblr,
Yeah.
which I appreciate a lot. We've gotten 48 questions in the past 2 weeks, which I think
Want
is
to get
a
into
lot.
some of these and see,
let's go
see if
in.
we can illuminate some lives?
Let's get on the internet and see. Somebody asked who's your favorite drummer of all time, which I appreciated. His name is Carlos Vega.
Stuart Copeland.
Yeah. Stuart Copeland needs no introduction as a member of the Police. Carlos Vega was a famous session drummer. He still got his start with a guy named Dave Grusin, who wrote the Saint Elsewhere theme song.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a member of the group called the GRP All Stars that was formed by Lee Ritenour. Jazz. He was a fusion guy. He ended up playing drums for James Taylor at one point with Leland Sklar as his rhythm section. Killed himself and left no note at age 40,
Wow.
at age 48.
All right.
Came home from a tour. I mean, killed himself after coming home from a James Taylor tour. Now, what does that tell you about?
That's not so hard to understand.
It's not so hard to understand, man. I would probably put a gun in my mouth if I had to play, Mexico every night. But, you gotta love, because every time he hit the hi-hat, he probably made $5. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a good paycheck coming out of that.
Got that payday. Are you on the Tumblr? Can you look at these questions?
I am on the Tumblr.
All right.
For the first time in, 2 weeks,
Look at
I
all
was
these
able to get on the
questions,
Tumblr.
man. A lot of Sean Duty love, man. Everybody wants Sean Duty to get on the podcast. Have you gotten on him about getting? Because I know you see him
I
every
secretly
week.
suspect that half these questions are in fact Sean Duty himself, so that may explain the large number.
Well, as of a couple days ago, Sean Duty is committed. Sean Duty is
my
booked
God.
to be on
Breaking
Overnight Drive.
news. He is committed. Yo, next weekend I'm going to come down and we're going to do Overnight Drive live.
I'm ready.
All right, and we're going to get him in a room. We're going to be 2 in a room. It might be a 2-hour extravaganza episode where we can delve into the wonderment that is our dynamic. Abbott and Costello, Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington. Take your pick.
My rule for him would be he has to drink a shot of something anytime he mentions magazine. That should really disorient him about halfway through the podcast.
Well, we're going to have to take him to the hospital for alcohol poisoning if that's the case. That motherfucker,
Wouldn't be the first time.
that motherfucker might be the last fan of the band Magazine left on the universe. But he did have that Magazine shirt. Remember that.
We've got a question here that says, one time I tried to send Sean Duty nudes and he asked me for my favorite railroad system instead.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a serious question, man.
I don't know.
Sean Duty loves trains. My man loves a train. He's not he's not a foamer or anything, but he does love. You know what foamers are?
I have no idea.
Foamers are people. I heard this on a morning radio show on the way to work. Foamers are people who get sexually turned on at the sight of locomotives.
Is that right?
Yeah, swear to God. There's a video of a guy actually in upstate New York who, upstate New York has the North Country Railway, where you can go from, I think, outside of Glens Falls all the way up to Lake Placid on an old-timey, choo-choo. And this guy literally was coming while, he was making coming noises, but seeing the locomotive. Now, I don't think Sean Duty's on that level yet, but he does have quite an affinity for the railway systems, especially the Delaware and Hudson railway system. And, good for him. Whatever. I don't get it, but whatever. Cool. It's cool. I like.
All right, what else we got in Tumblr here?
Somebody asked me if I speak German. No, I don't. I speak poor hacky German. I can say, Willkommen in Berliner Deutschland, Hala. I have no idea.
Mineralwasser, bitte.
Eine Mineralwasser, bitte? I have no. That's it. That is one mineral water, please. And what I said before that, Willkommen in Berliner Deutschland, Hala. I have no idea. It's the intro. It's the intro to the Neil Young Live in Berlin album. I just memorized it. I have no idea.
That's what they shout at Indiana Jones as he gets away in the biplane, being flown by Snoopy's cousin.
Willkommen in Berliner Deutschland, Hala. But I could say that in a few different ways, and it sounds like. I've impressed people before, but I've actually. My ex-girlfriend, I actually convinced her that I spoke German because I used to say that into a phone that had no phone call on it, just to make her think that I knew how to speak German. Amazing, right? The depths you will sink in order to get that cutty, man. It's fucking terrible.
Well played.
Well, hallo, willkommen i Berlin, Deutschland. Halla, einen mineralwasser, bitte.
Oh my god, you're so worldly.
God. You're so worldly. Take off your trousers. You're so worldly. For every German word you say, I want you to take off a corresponding article of clothing. No, sorry. A lot of people giving me fucking shit about what I'm eating. You know, I don't fucking...
Saw that?
Yeah, sorry, Jack LaLanne. I mean, I don't need your fucking Susan Powder. Stop the madness fucking trip. Somebody said that they're going to be listening to episodes 2 through 5 on a 20-plus hour road trip from Boston to Arkansas.
I just read that right now. Jesus Christ!
I think we actually made that drive once. Were you on that? You were on the Half Heart tour. Yes, you were.
I was.
Yes.
Yep. We did Albany to Austin.
Remember we stayed in Arkansas. We stayed in like the cinder block room with no windows.
Oh my god, with that dog. There was a dog behind the door that all the dog wanted to do was get in there and murder us.
Yeah, and I'm like, when we fall asleep, the dog is definitely going to break through that hollow panel
100%.
door. Which was cool, because we made the choice. What's the name of that fucking town in Pennsylvania that has a fire down below?
That's Centralia.
Centralia. So we went to Centralia. We're like, this is cool. We decided we can make it to Arkansas tonight. You know, like that tour logic you get into when you're like, oh, you just look at a map and you're like, 700 miles.
Not doing anything else, let's just do it.
Yeah, fuck it, that's 10 hours. I mean, because we're going 100 miles an hour. It's amazing. So, we make it to, like, Arkansas at, like, 9 in the morning. And Duder, I forget who it is, lets us in. And lets us into this murder den where the dog had pissed on the floor. And,
I think it was technically a workout room, but it was definitely like a workout room you would find in like a compound.
Yeah, it was a compound. The door swung behind us and closed ominously. That was cool. That was neat. And then we made it to Austin, and we thought we were fucking hot shit. We joined the tour.
I don't remember any of that second leg of that drive. Like it's my entirely blank memory going from Arkansas to Austin.
See, Andrew was Les Miserables on that tour.
I remember that we were going through Texarkana, and I'm like half asleep, and I'm like, we need to find the Legend of Boggy Creek monster, and everyone was just looking at me like I was a fucking dickhead. So I don't think I spoke for the rest of the trip.
I don't think I looked at you like you were a dickhead, man. I never would do that. Oh, and then there was a show in North Carolina where somebody pulled a knife. And there were a bunch of other knives that were found at that show, and a gun. That was cool.
Jesus.
Yeah, you don't remember a lot of that, do you? Oh, you remember throwing the football around, man? You don't remember any of that shit.
No, North Carolina, I don't remember that one. That's weird.
Man,
I remember in Houston where that guy almost stabbed you because you didn't want to buy drugs.
Like one of our first or second tours, we had booked the tour ourselves because nobody gave a shit about us then at all. And so we booked the tour ourselves, blah, blah, blah. We got in a van. Book a show in like a collective space on the outskirts of Houston, like where all the check cashing places are and the fucking laundromats. And it's really, I doubt there's a nice part of Houston. I mean, really, let's be real. But it was a shit dump, and it was hot, and we were tired. We are playing a place down the street from a rebar factory, so the entire air is thick with, like, steel dust, iron dust, and it's a terrible place to live. And in the middle of all of it, there's a artist collective space, because of course there is.
In an old, like, burned out service station.
Yeah, like info shop, zine library, fucking dogs on fucking bear chains and shit. Woman who I believe is dealing something. I don't know. It was an okay show. I remember. But I remember I was perspiring a great deal. I was actually quite heavier back then than I am now, if you can imagine. And so I'm changing my shirt, and I'm shirtless, which should be reason enough for anyone to stay away. But this guy, this Vato, I believe is from south of the border, comes up to me on a four-wheeler and says, hey, man, I got that. It's just, some fucking movie drug talk. Like, hey, I got that weed, man, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not interested because back then I was nailed to the fucking X, right? And
Plus, it's just good sense to not not buy weed from the guy in the 4-wheeler and use
because he was down this street and I probably had a ride on with him on the 4-wheeler, which in retrospect might have been kind of fun. Maybe I should maybe I shouldn't have big timed him so much, but I was like, nah, I'm good. And he fucking gets off the 4-wheeler. And pushes me on my shoulder and pulls a knife. And he's like, you sure you don't want this fucking weed? Pulls a knife and is asking me, are you sure you don't want this fucking weed? And all I can say, pasty, shirtless, man boobs, stinking. I was like, I'm really sure. I'm really sure I don't want your weed, dude. And he just looks at me like I'm pathetic, because I am. And he gets on his 4-wheeler and rides away, but he's riding away and he's like kind of talking to like his other dudes, and I'm like, holy fuck, we have to get out of here now.
I remember you came back to the show and walked up to me like, we have to go right now. We have to go
now. We haven't loaded out. We haven't done anything. People are like vibing, hey dude, we should stay here tonight. Everybody's like kind of feeling this like weird place, and we're like, nah. So we take off. But you remember the place where we're going to shower is that dude's house with the kid, and they're drunk, and he was talking about getting an escort for his like 13-year-old son, and they're drunk as hell.
Yep, I remember.
And he's like, hey, fuck these fucking dudes, follow us to my house, man. So we start following him, and we're like, the dude is weaving all over the road.
Oh my god, drunkest driver I've ever seen in my life.
Like pulls up on the fucking median, knocks over the flower beds and shit. Houston has flower beds, go figure. And we're like, and then I see the sign for the highway, and I'm just like, peace. And I just get on the highway.
See ya.
And we're like, beep, beep. And they just look over and give us a thumbs up. Like, they understand why we're not following them to watch his 13-year-old son fuck a prostitute and, maybe I get our shit stolen. That's really good.
There's something to be said about that, though. At this time, we didn't stay at our friend's house who allowed us to come over, but after a show, having us just come over and shower at your spot and play Street Fighter 2 for 20 minutes before we hit the road, man, that's nice. That's nicer than letting us stay in some spots.
Yeah,
just let us like unwind for a few minutes with your fucking weird drunk friend and his kid. Awesome. I remember schooling all of you guys at Street Fighter 2. That was my one claim to fame.
Hey, I really, really like the way you put that, Andrew. You are.
Thank you.
You are like the Hemingway of podcasts.
Well, we're gearing up to do another weekend right now, and I'm like terrified as to where we're gonna spend the night in Boston.
Yeah, you know what? What's this we stuff, man? Because I'm not in the band, and you know what? That hurts my feelings when you say that shit.
You want to come and get a hotel room? We'll chill out. We'll do a live song or do a live show.
Honestly, at this point, as the years have traversed, I think if I went on a tour with you guys, it would be a fucking hell of a lot of fun. Honestly. Because I wouldn't do shit. I'd be like, I'd play a couple. Well, I'd be like when fucking what's that name? What's the dude that fucking left stupidly Roger Taylor? What's the name of the dude who left the Rolling Stones?
Mick Taylor.
Oh, what the? Wasn't it actually Ian Stewart?
No, it was not. Ian Stewart is the singer of Screwdriver.
The other Ian Stewart.
Oh, Ian Stewart. The other Ian Stewart? No.
Yeah, I think there was an Ian
player.
Stewart who played keyboards for the Rolling Stones.
I'm talking about Mick Taylor, the guitarist.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys are the Stones, man.
Like, Ian Stewart was the guy that was, like, too ugly to be in the Rolling Stones.
Well,
without a doubt.
Okay,
yeah.
so
he was an ugly son of a bitch. Like, that's true.
So I am Ian Stewart also, because I am way too ugly to be in Self-Defense Family as it stands. No, I am like the Mick Taylor. I would get up on stage and play an old jam. Oh, Jesus. Justin just showed me a picture of Ian Stewart, and he looks like Jerry Reed. Looking ugly as hell. Jerry Reed, when you're hot, you're hot.
He looks like other Ian Stewart after the crash. Oh, man. Let's lift this up a second. Have either of you ever experienced a glory hole?
Oh,
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say no.
Justin, have you ever gone to a dirty glory hole?
No, I've not.
Justin has not. I have never gone to a glory hole either, although I've been in the presence of one.
That is true. I feel like you've been in the presence of a few from that amazing.net story.
Well, no, because see, if I really wanted to let the barrel blow, I would have went to went to the glory hole. But there's something really. I mean, I think I always, if I ever put my penis through a glory hole, I would immediately think there's like a guy with like comical like old timey scissors, like ready to chop my cock off.
Oh yeah. There was an episode of The
out.
Shield where there was a guy running around with rat traps that would glory hole people, fucking rat trap them.
Wow.
I have no, I have no interest in going to a glory hole. It just doesn't do anything for me.
No.
But if I did, that would have fucked me up. Like that's a fucking horror show to think about. So. Yeah, even if I had the inclination, that would have fucking shut it down.
I've seen pornos where guys go to a glory hole thinking that there's a hot girl on the other side, and then she like goes into the room next door, and then he goes
It's the
there.
entire episode of It's Always Sunny, where Dennis and Danny DeVito
Oh yeah,
end up hooking up the glory hole.
they end up hooking up in the glory. But there's like a hot chick, and but then she goes in the room, and there's also a guy in there, and then the dude ends up getting blown by a guy.
I kind of assume that's always the thing with glory holes.
Yeah, that's like not a hetero thing. It's like, oh man, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really trying to score with a girl. I'm going to go down to the glory holes. It's like, or there's that Ricky Gervais story about how his friend got blown at a glory hole, and then he went outside to see who blew him, and it ended up being his dad. His dad blew him. Can you imagine? Like, that would have been.
I can't with that. That's too much.
I can't imagine my dad.
Jesus Christ.
I can't imagine my dad being sexual.
Yeah.
And that's not because it's gross. I mean, he had the porno dice. I'm sure he, at least caps off. But I just can't imagine him like really taking it to my mom. My mom is like such a docile creature. My dad is such a and I get a lot of my depravity from my father, so I can imagine him trying to plug. Never mind, Dad, if you're listening. So I've encouraged my dad to listen. I'm waiting for the day that my family member tunes in to the Tumblr and reads that passage I wrote about my homosexual experimentation.
And you're gonna see your old man come up in the caller ID, and you're gonna know. Even if he calls every day, for some reason you'll know before you pick up the phone. Like, oh, this is the phone call. This is where it gets weird.
An Italian guy from Staten Island. What would he have to say about me messing around with guys? Although I did compare being sexual with a man, I compared it to ordering carnitas at Chipotle. It's not good enough to order again, but it wasn't bad. It's like, oh, well, that's new, that's different. It does taste like pork. We'll say that, but not again. No, I'm going back to chicken. You know what I mean? I'm actively seeking women. Actively seeking, like if this was my OkCupid profile, I'd be like, I'm only actively seeking people who identify as women or the female gender right now. Even though I don't identify as any, I identify as, hey, that's cool. That's all I identify as. I don't think sexuality should be so politicized. I really don't. I think it's more of a, it's like whatever feels good. If you're hot, you're hot.
No red traps.
No. No commies in the funhouse, man.
This is something I noticed this week. This really super brought me down.
No.
There's a private non-profit space exploration company. It's like SpaceX or one of those fucking things called Mars One that put out feelers for people to volunteer as Mars colonists.
I would do that in a fucking heartbeat. That seems so
Well, here's the
interesting.
thing. Because there is 99.999% chance that you're never coming back, because there's just no way to get you back, so you're going to go to Mars and you're going to die on Mars.
It's not even like 99.9%. They just say they're not.
Yeah, it's just
like,
you're not getting back,
not
like unless we
return
bend
trip.
physics.
Yeah. No.
There's it's not like being an astronaut where you've got to do crazy shit and like get into like pressure chambers and whatnot. This is straight from the release. The most important criteria, officials say, are intelligence, good mental and physical health, and dedication to the project.
Wow, obviously.
Now, even those three things eliminate 99% of people that I know.
It's true. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of fucking car thieves signing up for that shit.
It's rare that something like this, I look and it makes me step back and look at my entire life and be like, oh shit, I really fucking zagged somewhere where I should have zigged. Because almost nobody I know is fit to die on Mars.
No, it's true.
And it's not like I know science. It's like, oh, nobody I know is fit to, do experiments with magnetism on Mars. No, of course not. Why would they? No, nobody I know is fit to live on another planet and just die there. Actually, that means that nobody I know is fit to get to another planet. Those are the people who would flip out mid-journey.
How long is the journey? I was going to ask.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, it's true.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Like, plus, it's like I like the thought of like the buyer's remorse. Like once you got to Mars and you're stuck with these like assholes who did meet that criterion, and like you're just like, and there's no trip back.
No,
I was thinking about it last night about what an unbelievably fucking like. The amount of manic weirdos you would get for that. Like, that spaceship would have, like, a wing where it's just, like, fucking tattoo parlor where they listen to Elvis all day. And, all this fucking horseshit. There'd be, like, an MMA wing of the fucking ship where guys just, like, whoop the shit out of each other all day. It would just be some, like... I have no reason to get up in the morning, just going for it.
It would be, like, exactly like Total Recall, but without the three-titted woman.
That's exactly, you're perfectly correct.
It would just be a fucking drag, but there would be like, Mars would have like a cute roller derby team and like...
None of that would happen with those people. Like, you're overselling it. It's just going to be really boring.
That's true, Justin.
Terrible. Like, you're just going to be stuck on a goddamn spaceship forever with like these terrible people who are like mentally, physically fit, and like you aren't going to be able to get any new... video games or anything like that, so you're like just stuck sitting there. You've read whatever. How many books could you take? Like,
it's kind of like working at Borders.
Yeah, it would be essentially like working at the worst job ever.
Yeah,
like it with nothing to do.
I worked at 2 different Borders actually, and each one had a manager who wore Birkenstocks and had an insulated steel coffee mug and like a lanyard with like, "Hey, I read a book today. Fuck you," or that kind of buttons. Those kind of buttons on his fucking thing. Yeah, that's what it would be like. The people who aren't fun, like the people who like steal your parking spot at the co-op, fucking assholes.
Well, and I would agree what I've done at every bad job I've ever had, which is try to start fights between other people.
Perfect.
That's all I would do the whole trip is try to see if I could get somebody wound up so they would start a fight with somebody.
Oh, well, Louise had told me something a little bit different. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Louise. I want to be stuck on a interplanetary spaceship with somebody named Louise.
Yeah.
Well, you know how she is. You know how she's very passive-aggressive, and I'm not saying that you're maybe weak, but I maybe would have... I would have stood up for myself. I don't know. It's not my place to talk about it.
I like where this conversation is going. Somebody asked me, what's the longest amount of time you spent in a serious relationship with one woman? I like how he denoted one woman. My time of polygamy does not count. That would be 2.5 years. I dated a beautiful young woman when we lived in New York City together.
Man, that was 2 years, huh? That was, 2.5 years.
That was about 2 years. Yeah, two-ish years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It was great. It was great until it wasn't, and as all good things go.
As it always is.
As it always is. But that was cool. Andrew and I actually shared a city down in New York for a while. That was fun. We tortured our respective girlfriends by watching nothing but Neil Young videos, which was amazing. Hey, let's eat Ethiopian food and then go watch Neil Young videos. Like
we were the only two that enjoyed that Ethiopian food. Everyone else was really, really disappointed in it.
If you don't like Ethiopian food, you're a fucking square. All right, I'll say that about
anything. And if you don't like eating thick soup out of a diaper,
and that Ethiopian shit, that does look like shit.
Without a doubt.
I mean, that food does look, but it tastes so tasty. It could be shit.
Looks like what my cat left on my bed before.
Oh, the cat-ass juice, man.
Cat-ass juice.
Cat-ass juice. Cat-ass juice world tour. Get it together. And it's really cool that we're vibing on this level because this is exactly how we used to talk when we would share the front seats in the van.
Yeah. This is 4 a.m. shit right now.
is-
We're just trying to stay awake.
We have a very fragile and wonderful dynamic. Remember when Sean Diddy got the bottle of water and we were so tired that we thought his bottle of water was like the funniest fucking thing? When we borrowed that van that couldn't take in gas for some fucking reason. And we're like, I bet Sean Diddy gets a fucking bottle of water. I bet he gets a bottle of water. And then like he comes in the van and we're all quiet. And I'm like, hey, Sean Diddy, what'd you get in there? And he's like, I got some, I got a fucking Twix. Or whatever. I got a fucking Twix. And I'm like, what else? And he's like, a bottle of water.
Man, those long drives, you get the giggles on some really, really weird shit.
Man. That was the tour that was after the Canadian tour with Bane. And that was an interesting time.
That was the... That's when we rented the van that runs on vegetable
The
oil.
green van, yeah.
And if anyone hasn't driven one of these before, it's on some shit where when you turn the van off, it needs to like power down. It takes like 5 minutes before it actually shuts off.
Which is great
So-
at the border when they tell you to turn
we got
your
to the
vehicle
border,
off.
and they're like, "All right, shut the vehicle down, please." We shut it down, and it doesn't shut down, and they're like about to hit the sirens and
they were-
pull their guns on us and whatnot. Then the woman's like, "Oh, it smells like popcorn. Okay, you can go."
Yeah, it's cool. Yes, we have it was the most nervous I've ever been. But that was the tour too. I kept drinking. I had nothing but Coke and coffee crisp the entire time I was up there. I was like a little kid in Canada. Whenever I go to Canada, I'm like a little kid. Including going to see the Bouncing Souls at some point. Oh hell. Ladies and gentlemen, for the sixth installment of Overnight Drive, I will now tell you my story about losing my virginity in a shit shack on the outskirts of my hometown. It was earlier in the day. We were riding around. I was three across in the back seat of a 1987 Chevrolet Camaro Berlinetta.
I like that all these stories involve you laying across the laps of people in the back of a car.
Well, I was the low asshole on the totem pole. So, I was a low asshole on the totem pole, so I would have to, and I was also the fattest, because those were all, tall, skinny metalheads with, fucking jackets on. Exactly how you'd expect it. Casting call for a fucking Motorhead video. There they were. And they clowned me hard, because I had a white jean jacket, and everyone else had, a dark black or, a blue jean jacket. And they clowned me bad. But the thing was, I had kind of I kind of like Winger. I still do. I kind of liked Queensryche. They called it Queersryche. They're like, you listen to fucking...
Man, we had a great time seeing Queensryche a couple years ago.
We saw Queensryche together, and they even had a weird army thing, and he played saxophone at one point. That was cool.
I remember when they had their fucking stage show start. Halfway through, it got quiet for a second, and over the din of the crowd, I could hear you go, "I didn't sign up for this."
Yeah, no shit. I didn't sign up for Queensryche playing saxophones, motherfucker. Fuck that.
Play umpire.
So this was the summer, man. This was the summer. I was 15 years, just turned 15. Fresh meat, young, dumb, and full of cum. Right? We're riding around in the Berlinetta. It was really loud. It had a manifold leak, so it was really loud. And they kind of liked it that way. It also had a glass pack muffler that some guy bought at this place called the Joy Store. This is the guy Dan drove it around. And it was Dan, and it was fucking John O'Truba. Oh my god, I remember all these fucking names all of a sudden, man. Donnie's Woods was in there, man. All these people, man. Fucking Jason Clapper. Boy, oh, what's up, bro? If you're listening to that shit, man, fucking whatever penitentiary you're fucking listening to this in right now. What's up? You're all 45 right now, so what up? Or 50, fucking 50, because some of these dudes were legit 30 years old. Hanging out with a 15-year-old, bringing me up right, listening to Halloween, running fucking red lights and shit, you know what I mean? Putting bleach on the ground, spinning out the wheels in the fucking Phase parking lot. You know, that's where I was at 15, motherfucker. Life is easy now. Life is easy. Okay, so there was this girl named Sarah who was significantly older than I was. She was 21. Imagine, like, for a moment, a girl who looked exactly like Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees, only younger and hotter. I'm going to let you just lay back and imagine that, girls and guys who are listening.
I'm marinating.
She was... I didn't know what because back then I watched like Seika, fucking Emmanuel in Paris, and I thought like, and I'd never seen like a real fucking hot girl before. I really hadn't, because and she was the first vision of beauty that I had ever laid my eyes on, honestly. And I immediately knew I had a type then, because she had like a cool tattoo and like. Starting a fucking dangerous trend of me dating girls with tattoos, but that's another story. Had a really cool tattoo and like had like fucking long, like cool earrings, and her hair was like different than the other girls. Because a lot of the other girls had like the tease top with a fucking blowout back or whatever, like the real shitty like fucking I work at Caldor's fucking haircut, But this girl like knew what she was doing. She had gone to art school in Utica and come back and like. Was very like, oh, you went to art school in Utica, New York. Like, wow, you're very well versed and all that other shit.
Subtext, failed out of art school.
Yeah, failed out of fucking art school back in Glens Falls on your ass, living at your fucking parents' house. But did I know that at the time? No. I thought she might as well have been, Susie Sue. She might as well have been famous, because she was so hot. And I learned, that was the first time that I had ever felt that humiliation that comes from seeing a woman who is so impossibly hot that you'd never have a chance with her ever. And just the very sight of her makes you very sad. And that happens to me quite a bit. More now than it did back then. But it makes you wonder, it makes you question your validity as a person, not only as a man, but as a person. Because if a woman is that beautiful, it just means that you are such a fucking hill creature that you can never find, you would never have that. There's like, I'll never own a Ferrari. Or, I'll never ascend to those heights. That's what I thought. And I realized that, and I processed that very quickly. But this girl had hung out. This girl had kind of rolled back into town in the beginning of July. And we had hung out in a large group, which I mentioned in a few podcasts ago, with this kind of like flop house apartment, which was on the ground floor of a house. But the upstairs was also claimed because I think that the landlord was really lax, and they're like, well, fuck it, we're gonna have like, we're gonna have like the fucking party all the time, 24/7 metalhead house. We might as well open up the top. So they went up the stairs and kicked the fucking door down, and now it was like nonstop party house. It was great.
So a step away from like a shooting gallery.
Pretty much. I mean, there was parties where like. This one girl named Janie Girl would like just sit on the couch upstairs and blow people.
It's the second time Janie Girl's fucking made her way to this podcast.
Wow, people would just be like walking, drunk dude with his drunk dick in his hand, walking up the stairs. Janie Girl, I'm coming. I'm coming, Janie Girl, I'm coming. And they wouldn't even close the door and be like.
Ben Roethlisberger just randomly stumbles in.
Yeah, but Ben Roethlisberger comes in with his cock in his hand.
That's just gonna happen when you have a setup like that.
Baby girl, and then it'd be like fucking. He'd be like, "Oh yeah," and upstairs, "Oh yeah," and weirdly like Wu-Tang Clan would be playing.
Oh god,
weird scene, or some rap. I don't know, Wu-Tang. I don't know. Okay, so there's a house party. We're going, and we call it the house, right? We're going out to the house. I need a ride, obviously. It's out in the colorful, interesting part of town, I guess you could say, in a rural upstate New York town. It was the wrong side of the highway, I guess you could say, the western part of the city, and it was a shit trap. It was a really bad house. The rugs had. Piss and beer soaked into them, and they smell terrible. Black mold was forming. I'm just trying to set the scene here. It turns out that Sarah, the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life, had started crashing there, living there. The lights were kind of on and off. So I go to a party there. And I'm like talking, I have a Megadeth. Oh no, I have a Carcass Reek of Putrefaction long sleeve shirt on, right? And like I'm wearing, and for a change of scenery, I'm wearing tight corduroys, which was great, like tight cords. I'm like trying to, and I have like real genuine issue army boots because my father loved the fact that I wanted to wear army boots, which foretold the inevitable wanting to join the army. But that was a little while later. So we're partying, everything. People are drinking, bullshitting, standing around, drinking, fucking smoking weed. She's got fucking, so hot, right? She's got like tight black jeans on. Still, the look I still fucking love. Tight black jeans on.
This fucked you up.
Oh, it's tight black jeans on. She's got like a black kind of tank top on with a bunch of cool necklaces. Black leather jacket. Hottest fucking hot hair. Oh, just so hot. Of course, I'm 15, so I don't think that she notices I'm staring, but I'm really staring at her. And they're like, and she's, notices this. She's like, just points at me and laughs. Like, she's like that kind of person, right? Like, ha! The real honest, like, not, like, anybody out there who's ever dated, like, a really, truly nuts woman would be like, like, she just does weird shit, like, she'll just look at you and be like, fuck! Like, you're eating like, you went to the taco truck, and she just, like, she's so drunk that she just looks at somebody and just says, fuck! It's really fucked up. So, the night is progressing. Night is starting to turn into day. And people are, the party's starting to wind down. They lit a fire outside, and you can smell it throughout the house because all the windows are either smashed or open, or open with no.
It's a significant portion of wall missing.
Smashed, open with no screen. Somebody had spray painted the wall. Like I think somebody at one point tried to do like a Motorhead logo or like a Metallica logo and stopped halfway through. There was like a kind of a shit den, and there was like the obligatory kitchen table piled with shit. So I'm talking, I'm kind of hanging out, and this girl comes. I swear to God, this happened. This is why I'm such a well-adjusted individual, because this type of shit happened to me when I was 15. This girl comes up to me, and I'm like, my heart is in my fucking throat. My heart starts beating because she's just close to me. That's how electric my sexuality was at the time, where I can just be like, I even now, I just can't, the mind boggles my mind. And she looks at me and she says, I pick you.
I fucking love that.
And I'm like, and she's like, come here. And she grabs me by my shirt and pulls me into her room, fumbling with the fucking doorknob, like the cheap fucking doorknob, fumbling. And she's got the fucking mattress on the floor. Another theme in my life: sleeping with girls who have the mattress on the fucking floor. Milk crate, fucking nightstand, clean and dirty clothes pile everywhere. No posters, just kind of like a fucking flop house. A TV on it. TV, rabbit ear TV on, but the sound's off, test pattern on. Honestly, I remember all of this so vividly. Turns around and just looks at me, and she's wearing this like thick lipstick that has been sort of smeared from drinking out of bottles and cans and kissing other people all night. And she kisses me, and it's my first kiss ever. And I'm like, my hard-on is like, all of the blood in my body is in my hard-on right now. And I do not know, I am in a social situation where I do not know what to do at all, nor do I know how to kiss. But I'm like, okay, so I'll keep opening my mouth like a fish. I'm like, brah, 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 brah. And she senses that I lack experience, and I think she enjoys this fact. And if this person is listening, she's not, so I can keep talking, keep going.
Well done.
Well done. We start kissing, and her hand starts going down like on my cock, and I'm just like, I can't do anything. I'm completely paralyzed in this like paroxysm of even if that's even a word, I don't even know, paroxysm of fucking ecstasy. I don't know what's going on, and I like it. You know.
I remember the first time you have another person that's not you touch your dick. It is the weirdest fucking sensation on earth, burned into my brain.
Oh, it is great. It is awesome. It is pleasure spiked with pain. To quote the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I just did.
That was weird.
I hate myself a lot. I hope I die soon. But anyway, so back to the story at hand. I'm wearing my black long sleeve over a chubby body. Fully developed genitals, not quite developed body. I still have baby fat and everything. Not quite hairy yet. It's really if I can cast a gross din on this story. That's my body is in. Let's say I'm in a transition phase as a man.
It's a weird time in your life.
It's a weird time in my life. I'm in my awkward period right now. You know, I'm a 15-year-old hanging out with 30-year-olds, getting blown by a girl named Janie Girl, whatever. You know. She gets kind of sweet, and she just like, this is like, I remember her eyes. She just pulls back and she looks at me, and she just like pushes me back, and I fall on my ass on her bed, and she just jumps on top of me and starts kissing me like fucking crazy, right? And I'm like, I never thought it would happen to me, but there I was, making out with the hottest girl on fucking planet Earth, and kissing me, touching me, like her breath tastes like cigarettes, and like teeth and gums that haven't been brushed in a few days, and beer, it's like different types of fucking beer and booze, and it's ecstasy. It's the best taste I've ever had in my life, and it's so good. And she eventually works her way down, and she starts blowing me, dude, right? And you think that I would immediately, like, first of all, I'm wearing really, really, really white, tighty whitey bot. It's like, but,
of course.
But I had put, like, baby powder in my underwear, and, like, I put too much in, and I looked down, and the base of my cock was covered in baby powder. So she's blowing my baby powder cock, right? And you think I'm in that zone where you can never come. Like, you're so turned on that your body is just like, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything.
You're like full on deer in headlights at this point.
Full on deer in the headlights. I just know that this is so awesome, dude. And, she just starts going, and she's like, hold on. And she sits up on her knees and takes off her fucking jacket, and she takes off her tank top, revealing these, like, oh god, these boobs that are so, like, firm and nice, and they are perfect, and her hot necklaces are down between them, and it just looks so great. and then she continues, and she's like, continues blowing me, and I think she thought that was going to do the trick, that she could get out of, like, you know, doing whatever she needed to do with me. I think she was trying.
Nope.
She might have been starting to sober up a little bit. Meanwhile, my pants are down around my knees. My awesome corduroys are down around my knees with my baby powder filled tidy whities, and my carcass reach putrefaction shirt, which is now has pre-cum stains on it.
As many do.
As many will do. Yeah. Hope this isn't too graphic for everybody, but I'm going to continue.
I feel like there's a lot of people listening who are just doing this, and then what happened? Then what happened?
Yeah, I think
like a lot of that probably going on at home right now.
I think some people might try to get a nut off this, so I'll continue.
We'll see what happens.
Well, she stands up and she undoes her pants. She has this gold belt buckle with like the belt that crosses that people used to wear. You know, like it crosses in the front. You know what I mean?
For some reason, that sold it super strong.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Like
that really just brought it home.
So fucking hot, unbelievably hot. Takes it off, and she pulls down to reveal that she's not wearing any underwear. She has like this great
shocker.
She has this great bush, right? And it is so, and that's why I think to this day I prefer a woman to have pubic hair, because
I was going to say, this explains a lot
Yeah,
about you.
It does, and it's so good, and I don't know. And she's like, I've got a better idea, she says, and whereas I was just laying there and my cock is in the air, and she straddles me and lowers herself onto me. Now, if any of you out there they've just come with this is the sexiest story ever. I'll stop for a minute, and it is like it's like it is like I don't even hear at that point, nor can I see. And the fact I'm actually like breathing so heavily that I'm like starting to see stars. Like I think I'm gonna pass out. She's rocking it. She's a pro. I mean, she's probably been with like 100 people. You know, fucking. Like, I'm thinking this is special. She probably she probably fucked like a dude named Don like 10 minutes ago. You know, and I'm thinking it's like but for me, I'm in the fucking pleasure dome at that point. You know, I could do no wrong. And and then I finally cap off, and it's like mission control. I was like, and she immediately all she did was just stand up, like very very dexterous. Like when I'm about to cap, she just stands up, and I just shoot everywhere. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she can really read the situation pretty well.
Yeah, she was
a lot of experience
for being like probably on pills and fucking heroin and whatever. She was like really on the ball with not getting pregnant. Because I didn't know what the fuck to do, you know? And I was just like, that's awesome. This was just so awesome. This was awesome. And like, I'm definitely in love. 100%. 100%. And by then she's pretty sober, you know? And she's had multiple orgasms because I'm such a hot lover. Not really. And I don't even mop up. I just pull my pants back up and... I don't even think about that. I just actually thought about that for the first time, how gross that was, that I had sex dick, and I just pulled my pants up. Now I have sexy sex dick with baby powder also on them.
Yeah, that's...
and she's like... So she's like...
fucking awful.
So there's like... we're kind of near like a firehouse, and there's there's a Shop and Save supermarket kind of like a mile away. So she's like, I'm thirsty. Let's go to the supermarket. Yeah, let's go to Shop and Save. So we're walking, and we're just bullshitting, and she's like, so, that was your first time, huh? And I'm like, yeah, like really bashful, like, yeah, that was it. It was my first everything. First blow, first kiss, you know? First time I touched a boob, first everything. And she's like, oh, thank God, I thought you were just really bad at it. And that's my virginity story. And I was...
whatever happened to her? Where'd you lose track of her?
A really funny story. She lives in Seattle and works for the Starbucks Corporation.
Oh, fucking A. Jesus Christ. All right, our live Seattle show is shaping up pretty efficiently.
Yeah, live from Seattle. I really want to have all of these people come together. I looked her name up not too long ago on Facebook, and I found her. I did not add her, but I definitely found her. Postscript. That was not the first. That was not the last time we did it. We did it a few more times after that, and briefly dated over that summer.
All right,
over that summer. So we used to drive around in the Adirondacks and listening to a Slayer mixtape I had made her. And we would like walk around in the woods and shit, and it was everything was cool. So happy ending. No pun intended. Happy ending. So for all you fucking guys out there who have a fucking awful virginity story, motherfuckers. As I say every podcast, line up and suck my dick.
All right. Well, with that. I think it's. I think we're good to call it after that. I think we've filled the content that we intended to fill tonight.
Safe to say, that's it. But hey, thank you all for listening so much. You downloaded our podcast over 3,000 times.
Yeah, we got a huge spike in people downloading this week. It's really awesome. Thank you.
3,000 downloads in a week and a half, which is great. Thank you so much. I don't know what Chinese fucking robots, World of Warcraft robots are downloading our podcast, but thank you so much.
God, I fucking love China.
Keep up.
All right,
Keep up
this is Overnight Drive. You can get us at overnightdrive.com. You can get us on iTunes. If you download us on iTunes, do me a favor, leave us a review, leave us that little fucking star rating system, give us a 5, give us whatever you think is appropriate.
1.
All those little stupid things help out. If you're like a tinfoil hat guy and you don't like iTunes, you can find us on Stitcher Radio. That's your non-iTunes connection.
Yep.
And I usually post the direct link too on the Tumblr. If you're like a serious, if you're like the weird audiophile that needs to catalog all your shit on your fucking gigantic NAS drive or something, we got you covered there too.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/overnightdrive.
Find me.
Twitter.com.
Find me on Facebook.
Overnight_drive. What's that?
Find me on Facebook.
Oh yeah. We're both individually on Facebook. You can find us on there. If you are one of Hans's many internet lovers and Seattle lovers, get at us, and we're gonna book you on our live Seattle show whenever we both find our way to Seattle.
Yes, we will live. I'd see summer 2013 live from Seattle when we get really famous. It'll be live from a Sonics game. It'll be or whatever.
There's almost no chance that you will hear this in time to act, but January 11th, my current band, Hans's former band, Self Defense Family, playing in Bushwick, Brooklyn. January 12th, playing in Cambridge, Mass. January 13th, playing in Burlington, Vermont. I don't have the exact info in front of me, but you almost certainly have Google closer to you than I do, so just Google it. Got anything you need to plug this week?
I heard that you're opening for Cat Butt Juice in Burlington. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna bring all my DJ shit, and we're gonna have a spin-off.
In classic washed-up hardcore guy fashion, I am DJing a nightclub tomorrow night, spinning a Italo disco for an hour at a place called Elda's. You won't hear it in time. But from 10:30 to 11:30,
you might. If I have a slow day tomorrow, I might cut this and get it out in time. We'll see what happens.
That'd be great.
Or, clock's running.
Yes, come to Elda's, where you can eat Italian food and listen to bad dance music. Congratulations! I've hit the stereotypical former hardcore dude, DJ at a nightclub and drink PBR. Here I am. Justin Kiss.
Right.
Justin Kiss is always. Is my homeboy, and I'm really glad that I can shout out to him, even though he's sitting right here.
Our gracious host.
Very gracious host. I can sit at his house and use his internet and drink his soda. And he's like the Robin Quivers of our podcast, where he has his worthy quips every so often. So thank you, Justin. Justin doesn't give a shit at all.
No, he's not even in the room. He walked away.
Justin also has a mean cat. So I just thought I'd let everybody know that. Hey, shout out to Mike Tash, by the way. Hey.
What has Mike Tash done lately?
No, he just, hit me up on the Facebook today and said, hey, bro, love the podcast. My girlfriend and I listen to it all the time.
Oh, there you go.
So
Hi, Mike Tash.
Hey.
I'm glad you're listening to me talk right now.
Yeah. Hey, dude. Anyway, yeah. So, here we go. Cue the music.
All right. It's been real.